Middle East isn't the only region that's packed with American troops. US forces also maintain a sprawling presence across the Asia-Pacific, with 40-plus bases spread across several countries there. Japan hosts the highest concentration of American military facilities in the world. Other notable sites are located in South Korea, Singapore, Australia and the Philippines. We're crossing live now to Professor Anna Malindog-Uy, geopolitical analyst and vice president for Asia-Century Philippine Strategic Studies Institute. Thank you so much for joining us. So does being a US ally in Southeast Asia provide the Philippines with a sense of security amid all of this chaos?
Thank you so much for inviting me to your program, Nikki. As far as I'm concerned, being a U.S. ally does not necessarily and automatically provide security for my country, the Philippines. First and foremost, even we have the treaty or the Mutual Defense Treaty. When you talk about how the Americans or the United States will aid us in any kind of military conflict, it's still them who would have the upper hand in terms of decision, and it's also the U.S. Congress would decide if they're going to help us, when they're going to help us. That's very much within the MDT. Second is, hosting military assets, military weapons, and even troops, boots on the ground, U.S. boots on the ground, is also one way of increasingly making my country, the Philippines, have that kind of strategic exposure as far as perceived adversity of the United States, which is not good for us. The third one is it puts the Philippines as a frontline state or a perceived launch pad of the United States in the Asia-Pacific region or in the Indo-Pacific region. And at the same time, it puts us at a frontline state also in the geopolitical competition and rivalry between superpowers in the Indo-Pacific region, which basically it's between the United States and China.
So in the, like I was about to say, you just said it yourself, in the event of a hypothetical military standoff between the US and China in the region, would the Philippines and its presence of US military assets provide a degree of protection, or instead really put you in the line of fire? How do people in the country feel about that?
Basically, at the moment, is also a very important and critical issues that many Filipinos are discussing, especially in the what is going on in the Middle East at the moment, which you have a Gulf War or it's a regional war already, as far as I'm concerned. So, as in a hypothetical situation, if there is, let us say, a military escalation or a military conflict in the Indo-Pacific region, I think we are hosting 9 EDCA sites, or basically U.S. military bases. I don't think that would be good. I don't think it will be served as a protection, but actually a subject or a magnet of military retaliation of any kind of any perceived adversity of the United States in the region. That's my perception, and I think this perception is also being shared by many in my country.
Thank you so much for speaking to us today. We've been talking to Professor Anna Malindog-Uy, a geopolitical analyst and vice president for Asia-Century Philippine Strategic Studies Institute. Thank you so much for your time.
Welcome.
And thank you for joining us here on RT International. That's all from me. Make sure you join Rachel for all the very latest in 30 minutes. Bye for now.
Впервые в истории человечества перед судом предстали преступники, завладевшие целым